In 2014 at the Crucible, Neil Robertson of Australia was a man on a mission. And by the time he reached the semi-final, he'd achieved at least part of that mission, because he had fired in a remarkable 100th century of the season in the earlier round in the quarter-final against Judd Trump. It had elevated him to the world's #1 spot, and now he was preparing to take on England's Mark Selby in that semi-final. This was by now a pretty familiar rivalry. Only in December, the two had squared up in the United Kingdom Championship final. It had been won by the Aussie.
Best out of 33 with Mark Selby, it's not going to be, there's going to be large parts of the match where you have to, sort of really compete with him tactically. But, I was on such a high after the quarter-final that I thought that I'd just be able to kind of out-pot him, outscore him, and I thought that sooner or later I'd click in a session and I'd be able to maybe get on top of him.
I sort of expected a really, really tough match, which it turned out to be. I mean, Neil's all-round game is second to none, and a lot of the time you leave him a long ball, more times than not he pots it.
Now, by his own high standards, the former Masters and United Kingdom champion Mark Selby was having a pretty quiet season. He had reached 2 ranking finals, but had yet to lift a trophy. Well, the match was being contested by the world #1 and the world #2. It really doesn't get much better than that, and it didn't disappoint. Early on, Robertson sneaked ahead 2-1, and we're going to pick up the match with Mark at the table in frame 4.
Oh, it needs to run that, and it has. He can get to the black. That's a pretty good shot.
Well, it goes without saying, this is missable. We've seen 2 reds, Dennis, stop when they've hit the near jaw. That's hit the far jaw.
Well, there's Mark's wife, Vicky, giving him a round of applause, because I think they thought he possibly had missed this one as well. And there's Vicky. Give us a smile, Vicky.
Nine.
Well, he's got a terrific chance. That red is to the left of the black. If he could get that out of the way, well, they're all sitting up there, and this is the frame before the mid-session interval. Fascinating semi-final so far.
Yes, the young boy next to Vicky's Bobby's come all the way from Hong Kong to watch this match. He's been with Mark all week. He used to live in Leicester.
$16. $17.
This is an opportunity that Mark will be very, very disappointed if he doesn't score 60 or above from here.
$24. $25.
He's gone a little awkward. Still got an alternate red to the right middle, but he just wanted to nudge those 2, and he had an easy red into the left corner, but just got to be a bit careful. That's awkward. The 2 reds and the red that's next to the cue ball. Oh, well played.
33.
We had a perfect picture there, Dennis, and any harder, I'm not sure this would have gone in.
I think one of the reasons these boys are at the top of the world ranking is they can play tactical and safety battles, and then when they get the chance, you know, they haven't lost the rhythm. They can still score heavily.
41.
Giving himself a little bit more to do than he wanted here, though. He'd much rather not go in and out of baulk, because those colours are always a bit tricky to get through. There's a nice gap in between the yellow and brown to play 2 cushions for a choice of red. Anywhere past there is perfect, and that's pretty good.
47.
Just have a look where he's put the cue ball. He was putting that in an area that was going to give himself a choice of about 4 or 5 reds, believe it or not. Oh, that's kicked.
Sure.
But it hasn't affected the shot this
48.
time. At least he's on the pink and the red went in the pocket.
It's one of those kicks that can do you a favour sometimes. That's actually slowed the cue ball down, and he's absolutely perfect on the pink. Without the kick, he may have run through an extra 2 inches, which would have been slightly more difficult. Just made it absolutely straightforward to stun for the red on the left-hand side.
$54. $55.
Yeah, the last frame he made a 54 break and should have won it, but he's sitting pretty here at the moment. That's okay, no problem.
62.
Just needs red and a black to make absolutely certain.
63.
He's made 46 centuries this season. That's going a little bit, but it just shows what Neil Robertson achieved, making 100 in a season.
$70.
Yes, we haven't had the abundance of centuries we normally have at the World Championship. We've only had 45 in the Championship so far. I think this will be Mark
71.
Selby's third. Should he go on to clear?
Amazingly, there was only 55 last year. I mean, 80, I think it's 80 is the record.
77.
80 or 81.
78.
This all came from Neil Robertson's poor safety shot when he misjudged the snooker he was trying to get out of. With a very easy first red. When I say easy, he played an aggressive shot into the pack to try
84.
and bring pink into play. And he was faced with a very difficult black, potted that, and the rest has been pretty straightforward so far.
85.
He's made 335 centuries
91.
in his illustrious career.
92.
And this one coming just at the right time for Mark Selby. And I'm with you, Willie. I think 2 each is a true reflection of the first 4 frames,
99.
you'd have to say.
Very, very good. Selby adds to his tally of centuries. Okay, might be a little disappointed he didn't win the second frame to go 2-0 in front, but
He's still there, that lone shouter.
106. Thank you.
Of course,
108.
Neil Robertson still holds the highest break in this year's World Championship, that magnificent 140.
111. 115. 120.
One of the game's very, very best break builders, and this is a prime example of how to make a break from nothing.
126.
Well, what a fabulous first 4 frames we've had in this second semi-final. Both players appear to be in excellent form. Selby clears with 1-3-3 to level the match at 2-all.
It's a fantastic century from the Englishman, and he would go on to win the next 3 frames in a row and open up a 5-2 advantage in this early stage of the contest.
Thank you. The final frame of this session, Neil Robertson to break.
Well, we always say you can't win a match in the first session, but you can go a long way to losing it, and that's already the case here. It's going to be tough to get back into a match with someone like Selby if you go 4 frames behind early. Neil Robertson breaking off in the final frame of this session. Did it in the previous round, of course. He had lost the first session 6-2 and still came back to beat Judd.
Yeah, look where the Reds finished up. He thought, I might just pot this and get himself on the black, but he didn't envisage pushing it over the middle pocket. Needs to pull up.
One.
Makes such a difference getting the correct side of the blue as we show you the white come back up the table, and needed to stop just about there, and it kept on going. But we know the sort of cue power that he possesses, so just have a look at the cue ball here. He might split the reds even. Have a look at that. What a shot. He deserves to be on something here. Brilliant shot.
Well, Dennis, I totally agree with you. How he developed off the angle he had on that blue, the pace to get into that pack, that just shows you the cue power.
7. $14. 15.
I'll go into them here, you would feel. If he can just arc round and split them, he's got this red as a bit of insurance. Just watch the power of this. Yes. I say yes. Hope the black's not covering the red.
22.
No, he's okay. I'll just show you that spinning back. $23. There's a very old saying, and I still love that saying, Willie. You know, when the going gets tough, eh, the tough get going, and that's what Neely's marching around the table at the moment.
Yes, he knows this is his best chance since the 3rd frame, where he scored a few points to get a frame on the board, and as we've already mentioned, massive frame for Robertson fans. Played that nicely. The red at the back of the pack will pot.
28.
Needs an angle on the next black to get nicely on the last remaining red at the back of the pack. He has played that very nicely indeed. He can just screw back for the one red. He can go into them. He can play for the one in the middle pocket.
29.
3 options here.
He also had a glance at the 2 reds, just to make sure that they're not a plant. And 2 reds to the right, he had a look at those on the way around. He's got the angle to go straight into them again, but he's got that easy red to play on. The only thing is if he takes this red and then decides to cannon into them,
36.
he's got no red as a bit of insurance, so maybe the plant's on, you know. Well, it looks as if it's going to the left of the pocket, but he's glanced at that on a couple of occasions.
$37.
Now, as I say, if he risks going into the reds here, he'll have to get lots of top spin, arc the white to bring them into play. He's usually pretty good at this type of shot. I think he's just okay. He's on this one for the left corner.
44.
Look at the white. You can see the white arc into the reds. It would have been better if he wasn't quite as close as this. I think he's okay, though. Yeah, just about.
45.
Any closer, and he could have pushed that, but he played it well. Well, what a time to produce your highest break of the match so far. Up
52.
Until this frame, it was only 46. He's come up a wee bit short here, though. Can't avoid cannoning the other red there. So he's got to give this a little bit of care and attention. He's just looking to see when he cannons the other red. Wants to make sure he leaves himself on the pink.
$53.
Just a few more pots needed.
59. $60.
The blue will put him 65 in front. So another red in colour after the blue would be enough.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head, didn't you? When the
65.
tough get going. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, because this has been brilliant. Been kept off the table for the last 4 frames.
66.
And his first opportunity closes the gap to within 2. Just one more red needed.
That's the frame safe.
71.
I'm going to ask you a little question after this red, Willie. How many century breaks has
72.
Neil made this season?
Could be 101 in a minute. And in fairness, the way he's gone about this, he deserves 100. Selby made 133 in frame 4.
79.
To be fair, we've had everything in this session. We've had some fabulous tactical play that we've seen in the early part of the match. We've seen that magnificent 133 from Mark Selby, and now this.
87.
It's building up nicely, and it's still difficult to pick a winner of this one, Willie.
This is his possibly 8th century of the tournament, should he get it.
$95. 96.
Very well done, Neil Robertson.
103. 104.
You'd expect one of the players to win 5-3 at least in every session, so it's not a problem, this.
110.
I think these boys won't have any problem sleeping this evening, Willie. A good night's rest and back again tomorrow afternoon.
115.
As you rightly say, Dennis, it's been a first-class session of snooker. To produce this, having lost the previous 4 frames without really having a scoring chance.
119.
Too much side, is it? Oh no, he's okay.
124.
Exhibition time.
Well, he couldn't quite reach it. What a fantastic session of snooker from these 2 great players. The number 1, the number 3 in the world have entertained this crowd. They get a standing ovation for the first session. Selby's done the important thing. He takes a lead into the second session, and that is by 5 frames to 3.
Yes, Robertson's 101st century of the season reduced the deficit to just 2 frames at the end of the opening session, a session which in truth had been dominated by his opponent Selby. But Robertson struck back again, winning the 9th, and he's put his opponent in a bit of trouble here in the 10th.
No, he's hampered. So that'll probably put him off playing the pot. But striking down like that, and he doesn't want this to sneak up behind the yellow, otherwise it's a free ball for certainty. Oh!
Neil Robertson for free ball.
Can you believe what's happening here? Mark Selby must be thinking, what have I done wrong? He found a gap earlier on that didn't look possible, and there he's just missed the red, caught the bump of the middle pocket, and that's what drifted the cue ball behind the yellow. That brown counts as a red, as we all know, with a free ball. Colour to follow. And if you just watch this, when he's missed it, it wouldn't have been a problem, but he just caught that little angle and it just threw it out into the middle of the table and nestled up behind the yellow. Can't believe it.
Well, he immediately tried to get onto the one to the right of the black, but it's not quite come down far enough. He's still on the one at the back of the pack. Just making sure that there might be another one on it. Just have another look at the plant. If the plant's a certainty, you can just stunt to get onto the pink, and that will help. Well, we maybe have to go up to the blue this time because the red's in the way of the pink.
Yeah, that plank was always there, wasn't it? But when Mark Selby had a look before, as we look at Neil, he's come very straight on this blue. but the blue's an easier pot than the pink. I'm not certain about the availability of the black to the right corner, but pink in the middle of the table, no problem playing for that. Well, that tells me that the black doesn't go to the right corner. 10. And once again, he's come up a little short on this blue.
I've got to be honest, I'm really surprised he didn't just play it slow with check side here, the cue ball, just to, there you can see the angle on the blue, but play for the pink in the middle. Give himself a little bit to do now for the next shot. This was the shot, he had a perfect angle, John, a little bit of left-hand side, it would have been within 18 inches of the pink.
Yeah, and if you're just too hard on the pink, you'd be on the blue, but just played it plain ball. This is why he's finished closest to the cushion. But the fact he's straight on the blue, hasn't got much room to manoeuvre. That's why he's looking at the red on the right-hand side of the table.
Be playing for the pink this time. He'd like to be straight on the pink, so he can just roll it in and then play the red to the right
16.
of the black, because there's plenty of room. I think the red that's 2 down from the pink will pot in the corner as well. Just having a look at that one. So he's played for that one first. That's the red he's played for.
Yeah, we know he's got to play for the pink or the blue, but the black at the moment is not available. So stunning round of 2 cushions for the
23.
pink. Just got an angle. Now, you'd think the red he'd like to play in, and he's just pointing there. And then potting this red. Then obviously
29.
in a few shots' time the black will be available into this corner.
30.
And that looks absolutely inch perfect on the pink.
$36.
39 points to lead. It's not a straightforward run to the line.
37.
This pink will put in 46 points in front, but still 75 remaining. 1 or 2 precise positional shots still needed.
Now this may be a little pacey. Don't know whether you can get through to the one that's nearest the pocket, in between the black and red.
46.
The other one pots obviously, but it's not a nice angle. Looks like he can get through to that one, and that will open the black into both pockets. And now pink has had a chance to win the frame with this visit. The 1-3 down from the pink will pot in the left-hand side as well. If he gets perfect on that, it'll be under frame.
Yeah, but when this cue ball is travelling distances, it's never guaranteed perfect position on the next ball. And he looks to have played this very well. That's perfectly played.
46.
This red, the black. And one more
47.
red. That's all that's required. This black will put him 57 points in front with a possible 59 remaining.
Mark's not had a lot of luck in this frame, but he has had the chance. That's what he'll know. He's got to be pretty concerned that having lost the first 2 frames, or possibly going to lose his first 2 frames, but hasn't done an awful lot wrong, to be fair. When you're playing against a world-class player, you can expect to have times where you're going to be sat there for quite some time. How's the weight? Looks pretty good. He's on the red.
54.
And just this red to go 58 ahead with only 51 remaining.
Needed all the pocket. He's got the perfect angle on the black now, just to flick the left hand of the 2 reds towards the middle, and bound to be on the one in the corner. Now he can concentrate on making century number 102 for the season.
62. 63.
Oh, looks a bit bemused there,
70.
the bounce he had off the top cushion, but I've got to be fair, this table was played a lot better than the tables that were at the quarter-final stage off the top cushion. Those kind of shots were
71.
bouncing nearly all the time. Just keeps so still on every shot, doesn't he? Gets through the ball. That piston-like action he's got.
78.
If the red goes in, you would expect a century.
79.
He's a century machine, isn't he, this boy, at the moment?
86. 88.
If he gets this, will be his 9th century of this year's Alphabet World Championship.
91.
That's the number that Ronnie O'Sullivan's on. But yes, when he got the
95.
hundreds, Willie, of course, everything now he's going to set the standard, and for everybody to try and beat as the blue goes in.
106.
Well, another flawless break building display. Needed a second chance. He was given a second chance by Selby, but the rest was perfect. Neil Robertson wins the first 2 frames to level the match at 5-all.
That onslaught of heavy scoring from the Australian, Selby has summoned all of that trademark grit and fight, and in fact won 3 of the next 4 frames to lead 9 frames to 6 as we head into the 16th.
Mark Selby, even though he's in front, his safety has got to improve. He hasn't been finding the baulk line until now. This looks perfect. That's the best safety shot he's played for the afternoon.
Well, he thought when he played that red there wasn't a lot of danger, but as I say, take nothing for granted at this game, and that red he played has somehow found its way over the middle pocket. And was able to control it so nicely on, well, you'd think, the green. Just gives you a better angle to get the cue ball back to this end. And this looks inch perfect.
Well, it goes without saying, it's not a great pack to go into from the black, but he possesses a wonderful amount of cue power. You'll see this cue ball arc. And once again, needs a half ball kiss, not a full ball kiss on these bottom reds. This time he's got the half ball kiss. Just look at the arc he gets on this here as well. Suddenly takes off and kisses exactly half ball. Couldn't have turned out better.
Too thin a potting angle, too all for the blue, but once again nicely on the green. And he'll know the magnitude of this frame. He's won the first session 5-3. If he can win this frame, then he'll win this session 5-3. And that 93% pot success is exactly the type of pot success that Ronnie O'Sullivan is producing in the other semi-final.
Doesn't appear like that watching it, does it? But he's not, you know, whenever he's played safe, he's obviously not taking a pot on.
Yeah, I don't think he's missed many easy balls. It's just he's run out of position a few times. And of course, when you run out of position, it's not a missed pot.
Safe.
You play safe.
Now then.
25.
He'll play the kiss on the outside red if the red in the middle of those three above the black pot. If not, he'll go into them. To lot of screw back, and I think he may have a result here. The red pot's in the yellow pocket.
32.
You made it sound easy, Willie, but...
No, I did say that.
But.
Look at the spin on they had on the ball there, but he's taking it on, John. And it's there.
Yeah, didn't have to do a lot with a cue ball, but the pot was difficult. And can set up a frame-winning chance.
Hasn't done it in one frame all afternoon. There's every chance he can do it in one visit here. Right at the right time. What a kick that was. Luckily for Mark, with such a terrible kick, it's not too bad if he just pot the blue, but if that red wasn't over the middle pocket, you see that ball bouncing all over the place, it would now be almost out of position and not be able to continue the break. I think he could just roll this in, John.
Yeah, sometimes you get those kicks and, as you say, it could be end of break, but just got to drop this blue in, don't have to do anything with the cue ball. Was able to do that, so still on track to have a 4-frame advantage at the end of this second session.
And a night off to recuperate, John, as well, because this has been a tough battle, hasn't it, this afternoon?
47.
Oh, it's been hard match snooker. And spare a thought for the referee, our referee Olivier Martel. I mean,
52.
He's got to concentrate on every shot. He doesn't have a little time sat down, and I was talking to him at the mid-session break, and He said, I've really got to have my wits about me because there's a lot of safety and a lot of things that he's got to keep his eye on. And he's done well this afternoon.
$53.
So this black will put him 60 points in front with 75 remaining. Didn't see that one coming.
Mark Selby, 53.
Didn't see that.
I can only think Johnny changed his mind there. You know, he was thinking about playing for the loose red, and all of a sudden he think, well, God, I can't miss the black. I'll just play to get the 4 reds into play.
Yeah, when, as you say, if he pots the black, gets on the loose red, pots that and another black, it'd have been snookers required. What's he left?
Well, the key thing is he's got the black safe. I mean, he's been very fortunate, hasn't he, there?
Well, I think he's got a choice of reds. I think he can get through to the one to the left middle, which would offer him easy position on the pink. Plenty of points to play with.
One.
Doesn't need a black off any of these reds, but to win it at this visit, you'll need the black to win the frame, if he gets that far.
Yeah, that's been Mark Selby's Achilles heel this season, even though he's been playing great snooker. When he gets to a frame ball sometimes, he's just not... He's just getting a little bit of clinches this season. Never used to have that. He used to, like, always clear up when the balls were in this position. But he's just got that little bit of doubt when he knew it's such an important frame, just quit on that a little bit.
Thank you.
Well, while we were looking at Mark and that black he missed, Neil Robertson must have been having a worrying moment because the referee was trying to get the pink on its spot. It just wouldn't go on. It's back on the black spot. If it had gone on its own spot, he may have been on nothing.
Eight.
Played that well.
Just wants to get through the gap, doesn't want to risk any kisses here. The right-hand gap of the 3 reds would be the better one. Somebody just must be moving in the crowd.
Can you please sit still in the crowd?
He does notice this a lot more than any other players, Neil Robertson, I've got to be honest. Oh, there's a lady just putting something in her handbag. That was the problem there, but she's stopped now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what creates the atmosphere, the theatre at snooker. You've got to be very careful and frightened to breathe sometimes. But it all adds to the atmosphere, and no place like the Crucible. Semi-final of the World Championship, 1 table.
$15.
Wow, would have liked another 2 inches of pace there to get a little bit closer to the pink, but could nudge that red into play here if he wants to. That's what he's tried. And hasn't... Oh, he has. Yes, it's well now. He's suddenly gone favourite in this frame.
21.
Yeah, 32 points behind. 3 reds, 3 pinks. That put him 11 points behind, so he can win this frame without the black.
22.
If he was to take pinks with these reds, he would not need the black.
$28. 29. 35. 36.
Well, this will really be a body blow for Mark Selby. He was right in the balls.
41.
Mr. Black off the spot. He's still going to be reasonably pleased to have got level out of the session.
43.
But
.46.
Yes, I usually say position from brown to blue is important, but he only needs up to and including the pink.
50.
A little bit straighter on this blue would have been ideal, but he's down quick, so he's happy with it.
.55.
well, what a punch that was. Selby was 53 points in front. Mr. Very Easy Black, as we've shown you a couple of times. Robertson replies with 61 to close within 2. He's delighted. Selby disappointed. It's 9-7.
I remember him missing the black. It was pretty much frame ball, and then I did a really good clearance because obviously 10-6 and 9-7 is a massive difference, and that was to end the evening session as well. So if, 9-7 going into the next day, I felt very, very confident.
It's a big difference, either 2-frame lead or 4-frame lead, and especially in the occasion what it was. You sort of have to stay in the moment. I mean, if somebody had said to me you'd be 9-7 up after 2 sessions, you'd have took that. So that's what I was trying to stay positive, even though at the same time I know I had a couple of chances probably to go 10-6, but I was still happy with 9-7.
30-year-old Selby's strength of character and determination was shining through. Remember, this is the man who 7 years earlier had got to a Crucible final only to lose it to John Higgins. Well, as we went into the afternoon session, Selby opened up with a break of 104 to take him 10-7 in front. It looked good, but back came the Australian, 10-all. 12-all, until finally in frame 26, the Australian had his nose in front for the first time since the 3rd frame.
It'll be interesting, whoever does win this semi-final, and particularly if it goes right to the wire, how much will it take out of them going into that final tomorrow? The fact that Ronnie is already in there waiting the winner. He'll be nice and refreshed, but these guys could be here quite late playing to a finish here. It'll be very interesting.
This is no morning session tomorrow, so they can have a little bit of a lie-in and hopefully get a good night's sleep. Because whoever wins this match, they know they're going to have to play at their very best the way O'Sullivan's playing. O'Sullivan yet to have a bad session. Now, normally in a World Championship, very rarely do you go through the whole session. Another fabulous part, and that's another example of Ken and I saying, well, one of them's going to have to push the boat out. Looks like Robertson's decided to do that. For a similar red, as you can see, sticking out at the bottom of the pack there, doesn't have to go into them.
$13.
Very nice shot there. Actually played on both reds. One into the left corner. If he overscrewed it, and of course this one into the right corner. Now can he just stun that red in and miss the pack and stay in the black? He has a nice angle on this red. Okay, he's using the rest, but the red that's open to the left corner pocket, he has a nice angle. He'll be using the rest and a little bit more difficult, but he does have a nice angle here. Screw back up for the blue, try and bring some more reds into play.
Thank you. 21.
Brought another couple of reds to the right of the pink here.
$25.
Let's have a look at this. Watch the cue ball now spin. Wonderful slow-mo camera.
All throughout this championship, Neil Robertson's had the ability and obviously the temperament just to kind of turn a switch now and again. He did it against Mark Allen when he was trailing by 9 frames to 7 and 11-9. He just played flawless snooker. Did it again in his next round when he once again he was well against Judd Trump when he never missed a ball in the last 4 frames. I mean, Judd must have been absolutely dumbfounded to sit in his chair and not have a shot for 4 games. It looks like he's in that frame of mind again at the moment, so Mark Selby is going to probably have to just push the boat out a little bit. He's not winning the safety battle at the moment, so maybe have to just be tempted with a long one that he normally wouldn't take.
$32. $33.
Lots of top spin here in the cue ball. Needs a good split. Has he got it? Is this red available?
40.
No. And what's worse, the red has gone close to the middle pocket. Yeah, got the nice arc, but just didn't get enough top spin on the cue ball.
Neil Robertson, 40. Touching ball.
Good length with the cue ball. That little nudge on the brown. Half a chance now for Mark. That's a better pot. That'll give him a bit of confidence. Needs the cue ball to slow up, and it has. Excellent shot.
Bar for the little flick on the black there. That's the first bit of luck Mark's had this evening. It's a great pot, but just watch the way he just kisses into the black, and that's just slowed the cue ball down. Just flick the black. Now, if that hadn't have happened, the cue ball would have been in balk and he'd been playing a safety shot. So it's a marvellous angle on yellow to go into them. Ken's put a line up there, and that's the one he'll be playing. And this looks perfect. He's got to be on a red here, surely. Nothing nice.
3.
Well, he's unlucky. He's on this red into the right centre, but the pace he played that yellow, see the yellow again, I mean, you'd have to say you'd think you'd have something a little bit easier than this.
Good pot.
4.
Yeah, nice little kiss on the blue. Now he'd love to take that red away, wouldn't he? The one that's close to the right-hand corner pocket really wants to get that one out of the way, get the black back on its spot.
The beauty of the shot though off the yellow, that when he must have been a little bit downhearted, but he potted a great red in the middle and deserves exactly what he gets from here, which should be a frame-win opportunity, but he's 31 points behind. If it wasn't at such a crucial stage of the game, we'd say he'd be favourite to win the frame, but I'm a bit reluctant to say that at the moment till Mark just settles a little.
Ten.
Just playing for choice of reds here. The one that Ken mentioned he'd love to get rid of, but if he's not, he's on the one. So he can play on the pink and blue at the moment, but he will
15.
get rid of that red very, very soon. Decided to be now. Just going to make sure he gets high on the black. He doesn't want to be playing the black and going away from the reds. He wants to be high on the black here. Yeah, he'd rather risk hitting it too hard.
16.
Not too bad. He can just roll this black in and take the red just to the right of the black spot, into the opposite corner pocket if he wishes. This will open the black up into both pockets now.
23. $24.
Well, isn't that amazing, Ken? Having played 25 frames, they've scored exactly 1,389 points each. But the key stat is that Robertson's one frame in front.
Yes, and what a big frame this would be for Mark Selby
31.
to steal.
$32.
This undoubtedly is the best that Mark Selby's played all season, and that's tough to
39.
say when you consider he's got to a couple of finals, but he's not been scoring his normal way until this World Championship, where he's looked like winning a frame at one visit. He's had all season where he's been missing crucial balls. This week he's looked a lot more like his old self.
Sure.
Wow. Another heavy contact. And that's just taking the pace out of the cue ball. Not so straightforward now.
$40.
Well, he's blessed with a lot of cue power when he uses the rest, so I wouldn't be surprised if he screws the pink in and comes off the side cushion straight across to the side, because the blue's very, very tough. Unless a red pot's in the middle, I can't see how he gets on a red. That's what he's played for, one in the middle, and what a beautiful shot. Cued that to perfection. He would have been playing that with disappointment, the disappointment of the kick in the previous
45.
shot. But to play that was perfect. This is the biggest shot of the frame.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, it doesn't get better than this. Robertson needed one chance in the previous frame, made 74, needed two chances here and didn't take them.
53.
And this break from Selby has been right out of the top drawer.
$54.
Decided to go up for blue. The fact that the brown is off the spot as well. I'm not quite sure he might be able to just hold it. Yeah, could just about hold it. Now, 19 ahead,
59.
yellow and green, to leave Neil Robertson leading a snooker. And what an excellent break this has been. Similar in a way to Neil Robertson, as you said, Willie, in the first off a fantastic long red.
Well, he's made 48 centuries this season,
61.
Ken, and this break has been as good as any one of those centuries, and it won't be a century, there's a possible 86 on. But the key thing is here, potting just green and brown and making sure, and this has been for me one of the best breaks he's had all season. Excellent.
64. $68. $73.
He'll certainly be feeling a lot better in frames like this from Mark Selby. Just what he needed.
79.
Black goes in for a wonderful break of 86. When the cue ball goes in as well, a total clearance. But more importantly, Mark Selby wins the frame and we're level all again. It's 13.
Frame 27 was long and drawn out, but it was Selby who prevailed to lead once more, 14 frames to 13. Into the next we go, the Englishman 20 points in arrears here.
He's half an inch away from getting past the blue spot. Now, Neil, you're going to have to dig deep again. He's already 20 points in front. He's blessed with an unbelievable bottle, this young man.
It'll be interesting to see where the pink goes. The pink spot is definitely covered, but is there room on the black spot? He's just having a look. If the pink goes on the black spot, he may have, well, it does, so he may not take the pink here. The problem is, doesn't have much of a choice. The blue is. He's seeing, does he have the natural angle to go inside the yellow and around the back of it?
I think at the pace he's playing it, Ken, he's probably thinking I'm going to throw the white wide and probably kiss into the yellow. He plays it just a natural pace. I can't see him kissing the yellow.
I think if he had a look at the black spot before he actually took the red on, he may have, you know, hit that cue ball a lot harder and be up the other side of the blue. It just
going to have to work in the blue only at the minute now, because pink and black are going to be out of play.
$7.
I'm just wondering, this black may be still potable into this bottom right hand corner pocket. There may be a gap between those two reds.
8.
He's not nice on the blue. He didn't have a look at the black, and it does pot. He could have gone on the black that time. At the moment, he's just not fully concentrating.
He's concentrated on no miss snooker, isn't he? He's didn't have a look at all the options that time. Blessed with a lot of cue out. So if he bounces this in, he should be able to miss the in off. Probably see the white bounce here, is it just to alter the line? Played it well.
Yeah, and there you see the cue ball bounce.
It's amazing, Ken, isn't it, how much you can move them by playing it that way. If you know, if you don't get the white bouncing there, it obviously throws in a straight line. He's played it that way, so it could just come off a straight line. Couldn't have played it better.
Just a little bit short. I'd love to have been a bit straighter on this black.
This is one of those, isn't it? You either win the frame or lose the frame with this kind of shot. It's that.
Yeah, played it well.
21.
Held it nicely for the red into the opposite corner pocket. Now part of his top side of the blue, and
22.
he is.
Considering the frames have been a little bit messy, Ken, the standard of potting has been quite remarkable in this frame. You'd think, having been kept out, a lot of safety play, your cue action would disappear a little bit, but boy, they're both playing at the top of their game.
Yeah, they certainly are. Just a little heavy contact, but he's okay. Just took a bit of the pace of the cue ball. And the fact now that he's got a 47-point lead, he can concentrate just
27.
on reds and blues here.
$28.
We can play a little cannon on the 3 reds next to the pink spot. No. Top one obviously pots, but it's not the best shot he's ever played. He
36.
still okay, but just a little bit more awkward. Good pot.
34.
Once again, not perfect, but that little flick on the red may have brought the red
39.
into play. He can play it in the middle. He certainly didn't play the kiss then, he played to go around the back of those. If he gets this and gets on a colour, he can get the 2 reds, 2 colours he needs to be enough in front in this frame. To level again at 14 all. That's high, isn't it? It's turning a little bit. Wow. When it set off, it was high. Very rarely on these superfine cloths. Look at that. I thought it was high there, but these superfine cloths, very rare do they pull in. It seemed to pull in a bit there, Ken.
Yeah, just at the pace. Still going to need a good pot on the black. We'll just go back a few shots ago when he didn't take the blue and go into those 3 reds.
47.
Okay, the top one was on, but he didn't play that blue well. He's been struggling ever since, but he's getting near the winning line. Just this red. 67 ahead, 75 left, so this red will put him 68 ahead with 67 left on the table. And it's in. And this has been good stuff from both players.
48.
very, very high standard. Neither player giving an inch. And another super long pot. That may make Mark Selby not continue.
53. Neil Robertson, 53.
Well, Max come to the table, but a tall order. 73 points behind, 67 remaining.
Should be able to hit this. One of these reds thin enough to swing it around 2 cushions and get him behind the green. Maybe he feels he can. Can he miss the pink here? That's different. Look at that little beauty. Easy escape. Big target, the 4 reds. If you can miss the kiss on the red, he should get very close to getting him behind the green this time. Needs it tight. Excellent cueing again from Neil Robertson, and that will certainly secure the frame. We watch it again, look how still his head stayed.
Six.
Well, we said many times this match and all the hallmarks are going right down to the wire.
7.
And at the moment, it's proven to do so. Great match snooker from both players this evening. Good safety, good long pots, and some good breaks under pressure.
12.
Well, he's missed the red, but Mark Selby gives the nod. Neil Robertson takes the frame, and once again, both players are level as they go off for the mid-session interval. It's 14 frames apiece.
Of this
Frame
match.
29, Mark Selby to break.
Obviously, Mark Selby hopes it's only 3 frames, as does Neil Robertson, but you can see this match going all the way.
Yeah, match time, 10 hours 50. Not the best break off from Mark Selby. Disappointed he's seen Neil Robertson take a lot of these similar pots on this evening and get them. You'd have to say this is a half chance for Neil Robertson already. Excellent shot. It just doesn't miss many of those type of pots.
1.
And have a look at the angle he has on the black. Absolutely perfect. Straight into the pack. Hold for the red into the one of the corner pockets. Oh, what is he doing? Wow. Well, what happened there?
Robertson 1.
That was
Mark
very
Selby 7.
strange. Let's have a look at this again. Just seemed to stun it. Look at the spin he got on the cue ball.
It's like an arc having hit the pack after the pack. Usually you get the arc before you go into the pack. That time he got the arc having hit the pack. This little movement in the crowd, and Mark's obviously going to play a little stun shot onto the blue. Push the blue a little bit closer to the middle. Now decided not to nudge the blue. Exactly the same thing though. Just getting onto the blue into either pocket is good enough.
Again, Woody, what a clean pot right into the heart of the pot. Look at this. It's always that wonderful noise, isn't it, when it hits the leather right in the center of the pocket. It's got that lovely clicking sound.
6.
Long pot success. Mark Selby 69%. Neil Robertson just ahead, 72.
7.
Just have a look at this, Woody. I'm not quite sure what exactly happened there.
It's amazing he had that much spin on it. Having hit the pack, it's suddenly arced and gone in. It's very unlucky to going off, obviously, but I don't think I've ever seen a white going off from a stun into the pack. I don't think I've ever seen a white screw
14.
back off the pack from a stun and go in the corner. Now, Mark Selby once again has got a chance here to get a sizable lead, or if not even win the frame at this visit. And can he take the lead again?
So good at that shot, isn't he, as well? Gets a lot of backspin on it. Let's just watch the cue ball here.
I've got to be honest, Ken, there's only O'Sullivan plays that shot as good as Mark. That is his best shot. He gets through the ball as good as any player in the game, and it's still pushing those reds, pushing them out.
23.
Made a century in frame 17 to go 10-7 in front. And this is an excellent chance to possibly
28.
get a frame winning break at least from here. What an auditorium this is. No better place to watch.
29.
No better place to play. No better place to commentate.
36. 37.
Yeah, just look at how those 4 reds are lined up nicely into the right-hand corner pocket. Doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. The red into the left-hand corner pocket would just
44.
open things up even more, just gets that out of the way, and still on a red into the right-hand corner if he wishes.
$45.
Wants to be almost straight on this red, and I think he's just
47.
about okay. He wants to hold it, almost keep the cue ball where the red is now. He's about the pot.
48.
Well, the good standard of this evening session continues. Neil Robertson started off with
53.
a fantastic red. Very unlucky to go in off, and heavy contact there.
54.
But this has been a brilliant break from Mark Selby.
The applause from the crowds telling us that he's 67 in front. With 67 on, Mr. Red to once again take the lead in this incredible match and this incredible final session. It's like a boxing match, isn't it? Not a
62.
snooker match. It's blow for blow. You knock one to the canvas, all of a sudden he gets up and knocks you to the canvas. Well, he deserves a centre from here. He's a little bit unlucky though,
69.
Neil, wasn't he, when he went into the pack? I don't know how he went in off. But once again,
70.
either player, when they've had a chance to win a frame this evening, they've took the bull by the horns and gone for it, and 9 out of 10 times they've done it. That's the first time either player's played a bad shot. They've played a big net red into play. Missed the kiss. But what a magnificent break of 77. A little bit unlucky Neil Robertson, but Selby came to the table and made a frame-winning break. He was 77 and once again takes the lead at 15-14.
Neil was a little bit unlucky in patches. He was low on a black to screw into the pack, and he screwed into the pack, and the white saw to come off the pack and went into one of the black pockets. And I think I managed to pot a good long red from ball in hand and seemed to win the frame then, where if Neil gets a good split, he probably wins the frame and it could be a different result at the end of it.
There's one slip. Could cost him the match. That's exactly what I'm talking about. One little shot like that, half a chance for Mark Selby.
Yes, Neil managed to get the cue ball near enough the cushion to make that a difficult pot.
Well, there's another mistake. You see every shot he's playing now, there's a bit more pressure on it. And this is the chance Mark Selby was waiting for. Could that be his last shot he's played in this year's championship? Neil Robertson. Needs a kiss on the blue.
1.
It's not bad.
Is there a red? Maybe the one just above the black, Ken, is the only one he looks like he can get on. And of course, the angle he's screwing this blue in, the white's going to come pretty close to the cushion, so he's not going to be faced with an easy red. Maybe screw 2 cushions to get on the one below the black. That might be a better choice. Oh, he's developed an angle. Did very well there. This is a magnificent chance to get a few points on the board.
6.
Would have loved to have been dead straight on this red. He could just roll the red in and stay for the black into the opposite corner pocket. But there you see the angle. He's running into the other red, so he can't play that shot. I was expecting a little kiss off the red. He's still okay. He's got to miss this red behind the black. Needs it to slow down.
14.
Put so much into the black. It was a difficult black, to be fair, in this situation, the way the frame was. And he put so much concentration into the black, he just let the white run free. As you can see from that picture there, which is playing for that red that pots in the middle of them, he can't hit enough of it now.
That's just pure adrenaline, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you know, obviously, Ken, you've been there many times, and you've got to make sure you don't miss the black. That's the first thing. But he just caught the red, didn't he? Which may have took the pace off the white as far as, you know, going off 2 cushions. Can't really get in behind the green, but he can needs to find the cushion right behind the brown. This might kiss the brown. This is not good. That's a poor safety. He couldn't get behind the green.
What a shot that was. Under the pressure, fully committed. Have a look at this. Played it with lots of bottom just to control the pace of it and hold for the black. Well, if you could hold for the pink into the opposite middle, you may elect to do so. There's still another couple of reds available after this. Red he's going to put into the bottom right corner pocket. And he decided to go up for blue, and that's not good. That's a poor shot.
Yes, as long as he leaves this red so he can reach it without using the rest, the way he pots, you would expect him to knock this red in. But he hasn't got the best of angle. He can run it in and get on the black, but that may be a little
14.
bit too tense to play that. May decide to play for the blue, but he's playing with topspin. Very good. Very good. There was a bit of pressure on that one.
And this will certainly help matters, getting rid of this red behind the
22.
black spot.
$23.
Two reds either side of the pack of reds pot into both corner pockets, so he won't be going into the pack of reds here. He's showing a lot of character here at the moment, Neil Robertson. Got a nice angle on this red now.
30.
Can disturb the bunch and bring some more into play. Oh, that's a great shot. Fantastic.
31.
A little bit of lucky Kenny hasn't got top side of the blue. The red next to the pink will pot, and he's going to have to leave that at distance, or, well, at distance, but at a distance he doesn't really want to, but he's got no choice.
$36. $37.
This is good stuff.
$43.
It's just one miss
44.
snooker, isn't it? If you miss, you find yourself struggling. So he's gone 30 points in front. Just a glance at the scoreboard will tell him that, to be sure, 4 reds, 4 colours. 3 reds, 3 colours is close to being enough. Good effort this from Neil, because he's been frozen out in the last 2 frames
51.
and he scored 30 points. What a time
52.
to rediscover your potting boots. And they're both over 90% pot success rate at this stage of the match. You know, it's going to go 16-15 here.
58.
Usually you can almost guarantee winning a match if you have over 90%.
59.
One of these is going to have over 90% and lose.
Getting close to the winning line now in this frame. 50 points ahead. 59
64.
remaining.
$65.
Yeah, that's the frame now. And this has been a wonderful effort from Neil Robertson, has to be said.
72.
Shown a lot of courage. Like a true champion.
What he's doing as well as, of course, he's making Mark Selby think, well, you know, how can I get rid of this man? You know, okay, Mark had first chance in that frame, lost the position.
73. $79. 80.
Well, as we know, he's past the 100-century marks. He's now on 102. Half a chance to get one more. Half a chance to make his 10th of this tournament.
86.
Well, I know Sullivan has been the player of the tournament without any question, but either of these two players surely are going to get very, very close against Ronnie. This has been such a good standard.
$94. 96.
The century-breaking machine
99.
just needs the brown.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And how this Crucible crowd love the century. Under the circumstances, Willie, this is, I know he's made
108.
this is his 103rd century, but under the circumstances, this would be possibly one of his best.
He'd have certainly enjoyed this one more because he's got it under the utmost of pressure. He was facing match against him there, and he produced that magnificent break of 108 to close again to within one. Are we going to go all the way? It's now 16-15.
Thank you.
Oh, do you think this packed
Frame
Crucible
32.
get up? What a
Robertson
final
to break.
frame. You betcha. But Mark Selby and his legion of supporters who have just travelled 70 miles up the motorway would love it to be over here. Incredible session this has been. It really has.
I'm just looking down the line of this shot. I'm just wondering, will he take it on or just play the contained and safety shot? Probably just wasn't straight enough to have a go at it.
Now then, has the brown come to his rescue? It certainly looks like it has. If it hadn't, he'd be taking this pot on with the yellow and blue being there. Now Mark can be a very, very aggressive safety player as well. I don't know whether he can see enough of this red to play the red into the pink and screw the white back, because it's not easy to get back into baulk.
Maybe does he have an angle to screw it into the blue?
Yeah, that's a thought, isn't it? I mean, you can't quite see enough of it, but you can certainly see enough of it to screw into the blue. That's what he's playing, Ken, I think. It's got down with bottom on. Let's have a look again. It's too risky just to play the thin cuts and leaving the white at this end of the table, because the red above the black will clip in. I think he might have to play your choice, Ken, do you think?
I think he has enough. He has enough of the ball to just screw into the blue. The only problem is, should the blue go down into the pack of reds, it may knock a red over either corner pocket, and that's probably what he's a little bit scared of.
You won't have much idea where the red's going to end up as well if we just play into the blue. Can't quite tell from that picture whether he's playing into the blue or thin one. Into the blue with Ken's choice, and boy, has he hit that absolutely perfect.
Yeah, good shot. Would have loved to have got the cue ball tighter to this ball cushion. I think this is a little bit too risky to have a go at.
Well, if he stunts it in powerfully and comes around the back of the black for the black in the left-hand corner, he could get away with it if he plays the shot to nothing, but he's looking at the pack of reds, so it doesn't appear to fancy the long pot at all. I mean, normally the shot would be just to stun off one cushion for the black in the same pocket as he's playing the red in, but that would be too dangerous. Well, he's playing the pot, I think. Yeah, he's played to come round the back of the black. You see, he's in that side of the table. There's not a lot on. But where he's finished, this may be a tempter to cut this red in, the one just above the black. I don't know whether you can see enough of it. Obviously not. And there's a few murmurs from the crowd there, because you know when Robertson's facing with a long pot he would normally take it on, but he can't this time. Can't get past the blue, and he'll be kissing into the red should he pot it, so he'll be playing a safety shot here. Those three balls are lined up, Ken, at the back of the pack. Will he push one over the corner here? Oh, he played it super fine, so he didn't. Excellent safety shot, well played.
Yeah, pretty good. Again, same scenario for Mark Selby. You'd be coming down to have a look to see any of these reds going to go over the left-hand corner pocket.
Thank you.
Well, it's pretty good, all right. That little flick on the brown helped as well, because it covered the red down the right-hand side of the table.
Is there an edge of the pack in either side? You can hit them extremely thin on the left-hand side of the pink, but the red that's tight on the cushion, that might come into play. Coming up to a minute very shortly on this shot, and this is a tough safety shot to play. The red on the cushion, he's got to miss that. Oh dear. Well, at first glance, it's not an easy opener. But that's unusual to see a poor safety shot. Mark Selby just looked to his friends and family in one of the balconies to say, well, I'm a little bit lucky not to have an easier pot than this. But it's a lot better playing from here than it would be tight on the top cushion. It was always going to be tough to get through that gap. Going to have to go full-blooded at this, knowing that if you miss it, you're going to leave it on.
Well, you can play it in such a way. The yellow is always over the left centre pocket. I'm playing this with a bit of safety in mind.
Good.
Oh, it certainly wiped his feet. Now, is he on the yellow? Has the green blocked his path? I think he's okay. Looks just about okay. Brown is potable as well, but...
Bramble.
Well, likes the brown. And just watch this red.
Can he get onto the 2 reds just above the black? If he does, it's a great chance for frame and match. This is if he gets on those reds above the black. He hasn't.
5.
You can just cut that one in, Ken. I think the top one of the 2.
Well, we spoke about fractions, didn't we, in the last frame? Fractionally just on this red. Yeah, good shot. That's the cue ball to slow up.
6.
Well, he's having to work for this break. Again, red left of the black. That will be his target, or even the one just above it.
They're not easy, Ken.
They're not easy, these shots.
When you're on the board line.
A little bit of tension in the arm. You can flick a bit of side onto this. It's there. Now, how's the cue ball? How's the cue ball? Needs a nice kiss on the red.
It's still not. It's unbelievable. They're talking about fractions. I don't think you can get through the gap of the black and the red to get onto the black in the same pocket. Oh, Vix, it doesn't get any tighter than this, love. Can he get the gap? He has done. Can he get a bounce just to make the black easy? Still not perfect. Still needs a good shot to get onto the next red comfortably. Now, there's only about a quarter of a ball of the red. The red just to the left of those 2 reds above the black. Now, there's just a fraction of room here. He can play it in such a way, if he misses the kiss, he's on the red in the middle. But he's only got a quarter ball to hit. Doesn't want to kiss the front 2 reds. Needs to just drift by those. And he has done. Oh, they would lost the white though, but it's okay. He's one in the middle.
Yeah, he has an angle just to get up. Top side of the blue or the pink is on as well.
19.
Again, a bit short of pace.
Well, he's not even looked at now. Okay, the pink's no problem, but the blue's absolutely perfect to get on the 3 reds, but decided on the pink.
Oh.
Has he gone high enough? Just about.
25.
The 2 reds just above the black. They don't pot into the left-hand corner pocket. Maybe going up for possibly yellow here.
Now, does he
26.
have an angle to go into them? If nothing pots. I think the bottom red of the 2 just above the black, the bottom red will pot. And when he gets rid of those 2 reds, then the red at the edge of the bunch. There's the circle where I'd like to get on that bottom red. Now when he gets rid of those 2 reds, the red to the right of that group of 5 those two reds will be out of the way. That'll pot in the corner, Ken. So
28.
he's got a chance of getting 50 or 60 in front without playing a cannon.
$29.
Just coming around just to have a look to see there's the
36.
red on the extreme right of that bunch of 5. Does a pot into the left corner? I don't think it does. So you may need a cannon now.
You would think one of those two groups of 2, there's likely to be a plant in the left-hand corner as well. So he would definitely play the angle, Ken, ready to play a cannon. But he may have another look after he's potted this next red and the angle he has on the black to see whether there's a plant on.
$37.
Right, if there's no plant on, he'll play the kiss on the right-hand red. It'll push the red over the middle. And if this works, this could be frame and match.
12 hours match time. Now he's got a nice angle on this black. He hits that red full ball. The red will go towards the middle and open up the other reds. Needs a bounce off that red, but he's still got the red into the left centre. It's just about perfect.
44.
Red into the left centre, not the one over the right centre. That's a bit awkward.
One good positional shot here. Chance of frame and match. Neil Robertson knows now that he's probably 4 shots away from being out of this championship. He has shown some courage in this. Well, both players have. I've got to be honest. I mean, they've both played the part in this, and they deserve a tremendous
52.
round of applause after the match. And this Crucible crowd, I'm sure, have enjoyed it, whatever happens. I don't think I've seen a better match for a long time, Ken.
Yeah, it's been full of everything. Break goes to 53. Points ahead, 75 remaining.
58.
Red colour red will be enough. This has been top quality.
59.
One more red for a place in the Dafabet World Championship final against the defending champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan. This is the red to put Mark Selby in a second final. And it's in. It's in. Fantastic. And hats off to Neil Robertson. He's
74.
been a great champion here and took part in a fantastic match of top quality. He's given it everything.
Well, it's not there.
Mark Selby,
Will he carry on?
74.
Barring snookers. He's just doing a little bit of maths. He's entitled to carry on as is the last frame, but every credit to Mark Selby. What a fabulous break of 74. Inches away from being in the final. Similar scenario to a few frames ago where it needs 3 reds, 3 blacks and leaves the last red on. But you can count on one hand when somebody makes a 74 break and you lose the frame, in this case the match. That's not there. That could be the handshake. It is the handshake. We have witnessed one of the best matches been played at the Crucible for many years. Both players, great friends on and off the table. The crowd give them a standing ovation, and I've got to be honest, thoroughly deserved. What a fantastic match. Congratulations to Mark Selby getting to your second Crucible final.
Fantastic feeling, not only just to get over the line, but the way I got over the line. It's not as if I just crawled over. I managed to make a good break, which was nice going into the final, knowing that you got that confidence. If you are asked a question, then you can stand up and produce.
Probably the only regret I had on the match was that I tried to force things a little bit too much early in the match. I tried to make it a non-tactical match at all cost, and I think I kind of gave a few frames away.
It was a quite wonderful semi-final. In fact, it was a 12-hour epic. And in seeing off Robertson late on that Saturday night, many felt that that performance would affect his chances in the final the following day. But, summoning that typical never say die spirit, Selby was the man who stunned O'Sullivan, inflicting upon him his first ever defeat in a Crucible final. And he did it the hard way too, coming from 8-3 and 10-5 behind. In fact, Selby won the last 6 frames in a row for a truly incredible victory. With it, he regained the world #1 spot, and he also completed the career Grand Slam. Now that is what you call a haul.